The after-treatment maintenance interval will be reduced with the use of CES-20078 oil.
Like I said, I don't think you can't get anything besides ultra-low sulfur anymore. And when they put this out, I mean, they're saying use a high quality. Basically, all the 1540s now are basically, I mean, they're all meeting the same standards. So you're not really going to go wrong with anything that you use.
Chassis built with 2010 6 instrument panel lamps to monitor engine and exhaust after treatment status. The 2010 lamps were check engine, stop engine, diesel particulate filter, high exhaust system temperature, and malfunction indicator represent the same functions as the 2007 engine functions. The new warning light for 2010 is the diesel exhaust fluid lamp. The amber check engine warning lamp indicates that a non-critical system fault with the engine has occurred. The operator can drive the vehicle to the end of the shift and call service to remedy the problem. The red stop engine warning lamp indicates a major engine fault has occurred, which may result in engine damage. The operator should move the vehicle to a safe location and shut down the engine. The diesel particulate filter, DPF lamp, provides an indication that the filter has not been able to regenerate under the previous engine operating conditions and is in need of assistance in order to perform an active regeneration. There are progressive stages of need for regeneration indicated by this lamp, as described here. When the light is on solid, it indicates low to medium levels of particulate buildup. When the light is flashing, it means there are medium to high levels of particulate buildup and that a DPF regeneration is needed. A flashing signal with an amber engine warning lamp indicates a high level of particulate buildup. A DPF cleaning is required immediately.
Now, with them blinking like that, doesn't it automatically go into the regen then, or do you have to physically put it in the regen?
We'll go through this a little bit,
Okay.
and then I'll break it down a little bit more for it. But we can do it though. If you basically have it on, if the light comes on solid, or you see it on flashing, get the truck out, give it like 20-minute run, get the temperatures built up, then the perimeters, it's going to blow itself through. Get out pumping, whatever you got to do just to be able to get the temperatures and everything built up. If you have it flashing in the check engine, that's where you're going to have to pull it out of the station and hit your DEF regen, or DPF regen. And then the low indicator light, like I said, underneath the battery switch, it'll actually be illuminated. And you go out there right now, you can hit that switch all day long, it's not going to do anything, because nothing's stating that it needs to go through a regen. So I mean, you can hit that, it's not going to hurt anything. The only time it's actually going to kick in is when you meet all the perimeters that you got to do, release the parking brake, everything like that, pull it out, activate the parking brake again, then all your perimeters are met, and then that's when it'll do it. But 9 out of 10 times, like I said, if you utilize that high idle, that's going to be the most beneficial thing. It's going to help it from doing this. Half the time you could be out on the call, going out on a run, it'll automatically go through a regen, you'll never even know it. You might see a simple flash on the dash for a second and then go away. And it's going to sit there and go through the cycle and you'll never know it. You won't even see that much duration in the motor or anything. So, like I said, but it's just getting used to utilizing that high idle. Like I said, the department I'm at, we have an 09 ladder. We might have done a regen once on it. Actually, had to pull out and do a manual regen on it because you get it out, give it a good run, get it on the highway, everything like that, pumping, everything like that. Just utilize that high idle again. Yes, nail that as much as possible because that's what guys got to get in their head. A lot of guys are, well, we don't need high idles because that's the old school trucks. We only put that on for certain things and everything like that. Now it's you just got to get in your head. It's what you need to do. It's going to be better off for you in the long run. Because if not, it's just going to give you headaches down the road.
The DPF's first stage, on solid, should allow the vehicle to complete a typical shift of operation depending on the vehicle duty cycle. This provides time for a vehicle to be returned to a maintenance facility or for a change in the duty cycle. Increase exhaust temperatures by normal truck use without impacting the current mission. The DPF LED will turn off to acknowledge when effective assistance, changing duty cycle, or initiating a stationary regeneration has been provided. However, if assistance has not been provided long enough to complete the regeneration, the lamp will return to the appropriate indication stage. The high exhaust system temperature, hence lamp, provides an indication to the vehicle operator that an active regeneration has been initiated and that exhaust system temperatures will be elevated above normal levels for the operating condition. The test lamp will remain on until the exhaust system temperatures have dropped below 750 degrees Fahrenheit. If the test lamp is on and the vehicle speed has dropped below the threshold of 5 miles per hour, the lamp will remain on until the vehicle speed increases approximately 3 miles per hour above the speed threshold and the regeneration process finishes. The diesel exhaust fluid level low lamp provides an indication to the vehicle operator that the fluid level has reached a level where refill is needed. This lamp indicates the reservoir has reached a low level. The operator should refill the reservoir when filling the vehicle with diesel fuel or at the end of the shift. The malfunction indicator, MIL lamp, provides an indication to the vehicle operator that a fault has occurred on an emission-related component, which may result in an engine rate or engine protection shutdown. When the MIL lamp illuminates, the operator should take the vehicle to a service center as soon as possible. Review this chart for regeneration lamp behaviors for all Cummins engines. The passive regeneration process removes collected soot in the DPF under normal truck operations and does not require operator interaction. The operator will see no difference in vehicle performance during the passive regeneration process. When the engine is operating at higher speeds and modes, there is enough energy in the exhaust to remove the collected soot in the filter. This happens naturally and does not require any action by the engine control system or the operator. No extra fuel will be used, nor will excessive exhaust temperatures occur during passive regeneration. Operators may see the DPF light illuminate and turn off while operating the vehicle. This indicates that the soot level in the DPF temporarily reached a moderately high level, but because the engine operating conditions were right, the passive regeneration process reduced the soot load. The active regeneration process removes collected soot in the DPF through the addition of hydrocarbons, unburned fuel, to the exhaust stream. When the hydrocarbons enter the DPF assembly, the temperature is elevated to a point where removal of the collected soot can occur. This can happen while the truck is being driven, when in stationary truck operations, or during pumping operations. The operator will be notified of the need for regeneration by illumination of the DPF lamp located in the cab. When the DPF lamp goes on, the operator can provide assistance by either changing the duty cycle or initiating the stationary regeneration using the initiate switch, which is located in the cab within reach of the driver. The following vehicle conditions must be satisfied before a stationary regeneration can be started using the initiate switch. 1. Vehicle speed must be 0 miles per hour. The accelerator pedal and remote accelerator should be at idle. The service brake should be released and the brake pedal should not be depressed. The transmission must be in neutral. This can be confirmed by looking at the Allison transmission shift selector and noting that the current gear and the selected gear are on neutral. N. Finally, engine control mode should be from the accelerator pedal, not PTO, remote PTO, cruise control, etc. When a stationary regeneration event is initiated, the DPF lamp will go off, and the test lamp will be illuminated. As the engine adds hydrocarbons to the exhaust stream, the exhaust system temperature goes up. Engine speeds will be increased, and the sound coming from the turbocharger will change during the stationary active regeneration process. ISLISE engines will increase speed to 1050 RPM. The ISX11.9 will increase speed to 960 RPM. The ISX15 will increase speed to 900 RPM. The procedure will take 20 to 40 minutes, depending on the amount of soot accumulated in the filter. Breaking any of the required conditions will stop the regeneration process and engine operation will return to normal. If excessive soot buildup remains in the DPF light will return to the appropriate indication stage until an adequate regeneration occurs. When regeneration has been completed, the test lamp will remain illuminated until the exhaust outlet temperature is below 525 degrees Celsius or 977 degrees Fahrenheit, or the vehicle speed exceeds 5 miles per hour.
a lot of guys think when this is going on that the truck is out of service. But you guys have to pull the truck out and actually initiate it. Halfway through it, you guys get, just say you get an alarm like now. You guys go out, be able to either hold the switch down for 5 seconds to kick it out, release your parking brake, or touch your service brake, and it should kick it out. At that point, go do what you got to do, depending on how far it went through its cycle. You might go out and you might finish it off. If not, by the time you come back, your indicator lights are going to be flashed, either on solid again, flashing, or with the check engine, it's going to tell you where you're at. And then you just go ahead and start your procedure all over again. If you're back to the solid or flashing, just get it back out on the highway, 15, 20 minutes, get everything built back up, take it back out, check engine, you got your light illuminated, just go ahead and pull it back out and finish the process there. So don't think when it's outside doing this that you're out of service, you're not. So you can actually shut it down and go do what you got to do.
Now, the one procedure there, it said about taking the emergency brake off but not touching your service brake and
Yeah,
then putting the emergency brake back on.
I'm actually inquiring on that because you got to actually.
Because that's just an act of doing that all the time, because as soon as you get in to do anything, you got your foot on the brake, and you take the emergency brake off, you know, your foot's still on the brake.
Yeah.
Because we have to move it out of the house to do this,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
we surely couldn't regen into the
No.
limo bed,
Oh, no,
you know?
it'll melt that in a heartbeat.
Right.
Even just leaving it sit out with it running, I mean, the exhaust gets that hot. You actually might start seeing it deteriorate, so. Yeah, you still got to release the parking brake, pull it out, hit the parking brake. I think they're saying is like if you release it, and then like if you're sitting, like if you have it parked outside, except they're saying to do that, like just on off real quick. Because not thinking if you have to pull it out, you got to hit your service brake.
Right, okay.
Everybody good so far?
The following vehicle conditions must be satisfied before the engine will initiate an automatic active regeneration. 1. Accumulation of soot in the filter to the point where the engine control system looks for opportunities to actively regenerate the DPF. 2. Sufficient exhaust flow and temperature conditions. Typical pumping or driving conditions should be adequate. 3. Speedometer showing 5 miles per hour or higher vehicle speed. When the engine determines that it is appropriate to initiate an active regeneration, it adds hydrocarbons to the exhaust stream. The HEST lamp will illuminate during a DPF regeneration while dosing. It is also triggered at temperatures above 1000 degrees Fahrenheit and will not shut off until the exhaust temperature drops below 750 degrees Fahrenheit. Breaking any of the required conditions will stop the regeneration process. If excessive soot buildup remains in the DPF light will return to the appropriate indication stage until an adequate regeneration occurs. No engine speed or load changes will occur during regeneration in pumping or driving modes. Activating the regeneration process requires the operator to press the regeneration switch under the previously described conditions. The locations of the regeneration switch are listed below for specific chassis.
Again, yours is right underneath the battery switch.
If the soot load in the DPF builds up and the necessary conditions for regeneration cannot be achieved, the engine lamps will indicate a more serious condition. If this occurs, operators should be mindful of the potential for gradual power derates due to higher soot loading. If the DPF lamp begins to flash, along with a solid check engine light, the operator may need to take action. This action could be removing the truck from a mission that requires very high load operation, changing the duty cycle to allow a regeneration to occur, or initiating a stationary regeneration. When the soot load is reduced through effective regeneration, the engine will return to full torque output. As the soot in the filter is removed in the regeneration process, a small amount of ash is left behind in the filter. Over time, this ash will build up to the point where it must be removed. The engine control system can differentiate between soot buildup and ash buildup. The ash is removed by disassembling the DPF and cleaning the filter in a special machine. The target for regular maintenance is a 200,000 to 400,000 mile interval, which is dependent on the duty cycle, the type of oil used, and the oil consumption rate. using CES 20081 API CJ4SL oil will maximize the DPF maintenance interval. When the engine senses a buildup of pressure, it will light the check engine lamp and activate the fault code. The ash removal service event usually takes less than 30 minutes, not including removal and installation.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything anybody's going to have to worry about. I've never heard of the fire department having to do this yet, so.
The operation of the SCR device does not require any driver involvement. The driver is responsible for filling the DEF reservoir to maintain the proper amounts of DEF fluid required by the engine. The DEF reservoir on Pierce Custom Fire apparatus is 4.5 gallons. The fluid level sensor transmits the fluid level directly to the after treatment control module, ACM. The ACM is programmed with specific operational parameters, which will trigger the DEF indicator, as well as induce vehicle performance to rates. As the fluid level drops in the DEF reservoir, the following reactions will occur. DEF level between full and 1/4 full, the DEF fluid load lamp will remain on. DEF level between 1/4 full and 1/8 full, the DEF fluid load lamp will illuminate solid. DEF level below 1/8 full, the DEF fluid load lamp will flash. As the fluid level drops in the DEF reservoir to dangerously low levels, these additional reactions will also occur. DEF level below 10% tank level, the DEF fluid load lamp will be flashing. DEF level below 5% tank level, the DEF low lamp will be flashing. Check engine lit solid, and MIL lamp lit solid. The engine will induce a 55 mph speed limit. DEF tank empty and ignored. The engine has been intentionally shut down with the key switched off. The DEF low lamp will be flashing. Check engine lit solid. Stop engine lit solid, and MIL lamp lit solid. The engine will induce a 25 mph speed limit. Refilling the DEF tank will deactivate any speed limits and warning lamps.
Honestly, you should never really be seeing any of these last three. You're seeing these, it's guys getting in the truck and just ignoring it completely and not saying anything to anybody else. So hopefully you never have to see any of these last three. The first couple, yeah, you'll see them because as it says, it's dropping. You're going to get indications that you know. So you have the visual on the dash, plus you have your gauge that you'll be watching.
The DEF reservoir will be located in the driver's side rear wheel fender behind the forward air bottle storage door. The illustration below shows the standard location. The DEF reservoir mounting location on a Pierce Custom Fire apparatus will vary. The reservoir will have a blue cap and a label, DEF fluid only. No modification of the exhaust between the engine and DPF is allowed per the EPA. Only tailpipes after the DPF are allowed to be changed. Pierce Custom chassis will be outfitted with diffuser exhaust tips. These devices lower exhaust gas temperatures as they exit the tailpipe. Customers should not remove any diffuser items from their apparatus. Consult a Pierce dealer for exhaust extraction systems that are compatible with the Pierce diffuser tips. Pierce Custom chassis will be configured with the fan locked on during pumping operations. All 2010 engines are configured to engage the fan clutch during park and brake and pump and gear situations. This is done to prevent overheating when trucks are operating at elevated high idles for extended periods of time. Any customer installed hardware needs to be kept a minimum of 6 feet away from any exhaust pipe and after treatment device housing. Installation of aftermarket components shall follow this to prevent heat-related damage.
Alright, so your DPF light comes on flash or solid, starts flashing, get the truck out, give it a good run on the highway, check engine light comes on, you get your little illumination for your regen, pull it outside the station, keep 10 feet, area cleared open, activate your switch, put everything out. The DEF, like I said, when it drops down, you get your indicator lights on. I always say it looks like a little sideways ice cream cone. So you have that come on, maybe an upside down triangle, letting you know the caution, indicating any issues. When you're filling it, I say it's a two-man operation, have somebody sitting up in the cab with the battery switch on, the ignition on, so they can watch the fuel gauge. When you get about 3/4, 7/8 full, stop, let it finish running through the lines, let the sensors read where they want to be. You don't want to fill it all the way up to the neck. The cap has a breather element on it, so you go down and fill it all the way up the neck, you start driving down the road, start hitting bumps, it's gonna have it splashing out. And again, it's just gonna look like road salt, crystallization in there, soap and water, clear it right out. Questions, comments, concerns?
Where do you get this stuff?
Any of your truck stops, a lot of your Napas, AutoZones, they all carry them. So I've had guys that want to go automatically go buy a 55-gallon drum of it. You don't need that. The most that you might see get used is when when the truck is getting everybody oriented. When you're out doing your driver training, anything like that, you're going to see it go through a lot more than that. After that time, with your run volume, then you'll be able to monitor, see how much you're actually going through and using. Then you can determine how much you actually want to get. I think they come in like 2.5, 5 gallon. I mean, they have small quantities that you can get. Like I said, it's a 4.5 gallon tank. You shouldn't be going through it that much after you get everybody qualified on the driver apparatus. So, but yeah, like any of your vans, all of that, in your local automotive store, 9 out of 10 times everybody's carrying it now. But even in personal vehicles, newer diesels and everything like that, they all have it now also. So, yeah, you guys, actually in your box goodies, you actually have a copy of this presentation. I can give you a copy of both presentations if you like them.
Yeah.
So you have everything.
Yeah.
You also, the one thing I didn't go over, your pressure governor. You actually had a interactive CD in the box with what you got. And when I send you the copy of these two, I'll actually throw it on the DVD for that also. That's something if you guys aren't too familiarized with the pressure governor. It's an actual interactive one. That guys can actually sit in front of a computer and it'll run through a bunch of different scenarios, go through a lot of things. You might want to, if you're going to have any of you guys go through it, you might want to go through it first because certain parts of it actually starts going into changing programming and everything like that. So you might want to say, all right, you go up to level 7 and then stop. Because after a while, then it'll actually start going in and saying, all right, well, this is how you go in, you can change this, or this is how you calibrate your tank level and all that kind of stuff. So I don't think you want everybody knowing that. But yeah, other than that, anybody got any questions? I'm done with what I have to do, so this is now your time. So whatever you guys would like to do, I'm here for you.
Let's go inside.
Just bring it around front there, facing.
Yeah, for sure.